Alrighty, what's up everybody? It's I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Tuesday evening, getting close to Tuesday night video right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe right now to this channel and my other channels, all down below in the description box. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that other good shit. Leave a comment on the video, but don't leave stupid comments because you go bye-bye, so long, farewell, adios, you get sent to the shadow realm, Satan eats your soul, and you'll never be heard from again. So, that's that. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything, because if you do, well, fuck you, man! You're SOL, and you know what that means, and I don't need to tell you. I think you know. But for our first-time viewers, SOL means shit out of luck. So, that's that. Speaking of first-time viewers, if you're here for the first time, well, welcome to the party, pal! We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab yourself a nice cold one, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, get the fuck out. And go fuck yourself. And then that's that. Alright, we got NXT coming up in a little bit, the go-home show before this Sunday night's NXT Battleground from Tampa, Florida. This should be a good show. The card is already finalized, just about. We got a concert tonight. We got a rap rock concert tonight. Trick Witty will give us a nice little rap diss, whatever. It's gonna be epic. And we got Say His Name and He Appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry's gonna sing along. We're gonna sing along with Joe Hendry tonight too. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. All we need is Elijah, and we have a party. So we got that on the go home show tonight for NXT on the CW11. Gonna be pretty damn good. And also, news came out today that next week's show, which is the aftermath show for Battleground, is not gonna be in Tampa. Why? Don't know. But it got moved to the Performance Center. We haven't seen NXT in the Performance Center in years. Because now it's at the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida, but now it's going to the Performance Center in, well, different part of Orlando. But we move on with that. So that's going to be, pretty exciting, going back to the roots of NXT at the Performance Center. Going to be pretty damn epic at Full Sail. And we move on with that. Not at Full Sail. No, it's not affiliated with Full Sail, I don't think. I forget. But anyway, moving on. So that's going to be pretty exciting next week. So, good shit. What else? SmackDown did a 1.3 in the ratings. Collision's ratings came out, and I told you it was going to be bad. Wasn't that bad. 380-something thousand views for, a 90-minute show. Not bad, but, Still, Tony Khan and AEW have humongous egg on their face. I think they finally put it up on Max. But, man, there's no Collision this week, thankfully, because of the pay-per-view this weekend. That's Double Nothing. Next week, we have Collision. So, we'll go on from there. Raw was number 8 in the ratings this week on Netflix. It ranked number 8 on streaming sites and all that other good shit. So, number 8 ain't bad, but we move on. Alright, before we get to NXT, ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, I want to give you my Monday night Raw thoughts. You understand? Thoughts. So we got that. By the way, big announcement, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. My Peter Joseph channel just hit 800 subscribers officially. Now, I know it might bounce up and down like my dick in your mom's ass over the next couple hours, next couple days. But hopefully, as we get to this weekend, thankfully we hit 800 today. So my goal was hit today on the 20th of May. Now, hopefully we'll get to 900. Maybe, I'm hoping for 900, or at least close to 900 by July 4th weekend. I know we got a little over a month and change to go. I don't know if we'll get to 900 by then, but you never know. But let's realistically, realistically try to set my goal of 900 by Labor Day. I know, Labor Day, like, by Labor Day weekend, which is the end of August, going into Clash in Paris. And then we got that. All Out, actually, speaking of more news, All Out is going to be in Toronto, Canada, at the end of September, which is really late for All Out. I thought All Out would be at least September the 7th, going head-to-head with the first week of football, but no. It's going to be, I think it said September 27th, so it's late for AEW purposes. So that means Dynasty is going to be late. Not Dynasty, Wrestle Dream is going to be late in October. And then Full Gear is going to be sometime before Thanksgiving. I think it's going to be like a week or two before Survivor Series. And then we got the last pay-per-view in December. So, I mean, we'll move on. And that's that. How did that go to that? And I did not want to do that. Okay, sorry about that. So we got World's End 3 at the end of December. So, I know we got Final Battle as well. So lots of good, interesting news today. Not that was much news today, but we got that. Alright, let me give you your raw thoughts for last night. And we were emanating from the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Kakalaki. That's South Carolina for you dumb people at home. And as always, Mitchell Cole, or Michael Cole, and the great man that he is, Pat McAfee, on the call, on commentary. And last night wasn't great, but it is what it is. 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers for the ladies. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Alright, so we started off with a recap of Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman beating the crap out of Jey Uso last week. So then Logan Paul starts to show up properly, gets right to the point, talks about he's going to beat Jey Uso on Saturday night's main event. Then the fans go, yeet, and that pisses off Logan Paul, blah, blah, blah. He said, I knocked Jey Uso out, I think, at the end of last week's show, and then I'm doing it, I'm gonna do it again. And then Walter comes out, and Walter's got a title shot coming on June the 9th in Phoenix. So him and Logan Paul kind of go back and forth. And basically, he tells Logan Paul that, he wants to take the belt back from Jey because it's personal for him. And just ask Pat McAfee what happens to non-wrestlers, and Pat's like, yeah, I know that. But at least Pat showed some heart, and he tells Logan Paul, if you win the belt, I'm gonna, as soon as the bell rings, I'm gonna eat you alive. Eesh, nasty. So Walter goes to leave, and then Logan Paul talks some more shit about him, and then Jey Uso comes in and super kicks him right in the mouth for talking that shit. So then he gets in Logan Paul's face. He's like, I'll see you Saturday, Walter. I'll see you in Phoenix. 4 letters. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. That's it. Simple as that. Great promo from the Yeet Man, but, good stuff from Walter and Logan Paul. So we'll see what happens this Saturday night in Tampa for Saturday night's main event. We move on. Alright, then we got to look at Julia and Roxy breaking up after losing to Mommy Rhea Ripley and my third basically hot Asian wife, Io Sky. Then we found out that Julia is now officially on SmackDown. And then we saw Roxy with Adam Pearce officially sign her contract to Raw. Well, that was obvious. Alright, forget that. Then we see a video of Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton and Knicks star Jalen Brunson last June during the playoffs, where the Knicks got beat. In any case, we saw that would happen on SmackDown. So, Tyrese Halliburton is actually in 2K25 in the new pack that came out. Interesting. Okay. But I'm getting sick of all these celebrities, on Netflix, just for Netflix purposes. That's all it is. But, Pacers in 5. Moving on. Because, the Knicks series starts tomorrow at the Garden, and 7th Avenue is going to be packed tomorrow night, even though it's going to be pouring rain. It is what it is. We'll see what happens with that, but should be a great series. I think it'd be great. I think it's going to be great. But if the Knicks go to the NBA Finals, New York City is going to be a great place to go. Oh, shit. Win or lose. They win. If they win the NBA title, New York City is going to go berserk. It's like when the Yankees won in 2010. But fuck the Yankees. Moving on. Alright, so we got that. Alright, then we see Jay Uso run into the wise man. My name is Paul Heyman, who wants to give some facts. You understand? Facts to Jay. Everyone says that he betrayed CM Punk, and our tribal chief, Roman, got acknowledged, as always, which means stabbing him in the back. The fact is that Braun Breaker is facing Jay in a non-title match at the end of the night, because it isn't about the belt, but instead, Braun is out to slow Jay down, so Seth Rollins can win the belt whenever that happens. We got that. We move on. Alright, then we go to Pentagon, Zero, Miedo, and the phenomenal Eddie. Jay's got great hairstyles. Taking on the Judgment Day of Fiend Balor and JD McDonuts. This was pretty good. Carlito is at ringside, and Carlito spits in the face of people who don't want to be cool. He gets involved near the end, but earns a shot from AJ and a Canadian Destroyer off the steps. Well, actually, no. Pentagon hits a Mexican Destroyer off the steps onto the floor. Damn! And Pentagon's like, yeah! He's all hype and getting ready. So he has his back to the crowd. And then, Americano! Chad Gable is there. And he headbutts him with that little metal plate in his head. Headbutts Pentagon. And then, pretty much, Finn threw him back in. Goes up top, hits the coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. Pentagon loses again. So, the Pentagon Chad Gable / Grande Americano feud continues. We'll see what happens. That might happen at, soon. I don't know when. Maybe at Money in the Bank, but we'll see. And that's that. Alright, good match there. And we move on. Alright, then we go to the back where Kathy Kelly's talking to my wifey, Io Sky. It's all ready for anyone to win Money in the Bank and try to cash in on her. So then, one woman who's woman has to qualify. That's the man, Becky Lynch. She reminds Io that Io has never beaten her, which is true. It's always the first time. And then Io's like, I am ready anyway. As I am Io. I have to do that. That taunt is just amazing. Like Io is. We move on. Alright, there we have Seth Rollins interrupting Logan Paul. Who's on the phone with one of his buddies. And, Logan's like, I don't want to talk to you, I just want to get out of here! Wait over here! So Seth says, Jay's gonna get hurt later in the night in the main event. That means you have a good chance to win on Saturday. Well, you can thank me for that. And, it says, after you win the belt from Jay and get past Walter on June the 9th, I'm gonna be waiting for you, and maybe we can run it back like we did at WrestleMania, WrestleMania 39. But this time, the belt's on the line. So we'll see what happens with that. Let me move on. Alright, then we get our first women's Money in the Bank qualifying match of the night. The man, Becky Lynch, taking on Roxanne Perez, and the legend Natalya. You think Natalya's gonna win? Pfft. Hey, Natalya's, she's hardcore. She beats up a fan. So, you want to talk shit to Natalya, you better get ready to get your ass kicked. Just saying. Pretty good match. Natalya had the sharpshooter on Roxy a couple times. Becky broke it up both times. And then she hits, she drops Roxy with a manhandle slam. But then the Women's Intercontinental Champion, the Lassie Beach from Ireland, Lyla Valkyria, comes in. She starts a brawl with Becky because it's a triple threat match, no DQ. So they brawl all the way to the back. And then Roxy gets up, hits a very quick pop rocks on Natalya. 1, 2, 3. Roxy goes to the Money in the Bank, and she joins Alexa Bliss. So pretty good. Roxy's in the ladder match. Gotta worry about the ladies with those spots. But it looks like it's gonna be pretty good and pretty brutal. The same thing with the men, and we already know Solo Miyagi is in on the SmackDown side. But we got more to come on Friday with the men. So we move on with that. So that was a pretty decent match, and we move on. Alright, then Sami Zayn comes in to talk to his good buddy Jey Uso, tells him, so you should worry about Logan Paul, and, I'll deal with Seth Rollins and company, on Saturday's main event when he teams up with Punk against Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. And I got your back if the numbers game gets a little bit too much. So, the original Uso, Sami Uso, always has his good buddy Jay's back because of the bloodline. That's pretty much it. Alright, then Pat McAfee brings up John Cena beating Michael Cole on Raw in 2012, pouring JR's barbecue sauce, barbecue sauce, Stone Cold, on him, and then hit, dousing him with a fire extinguisher, hitting the AA and winning. And Cole goes, not quite as embarrassing as Heidenreich. I was like, oh shit, he put up Heidenreich. When Heidenreich basically raped him on live TV. Then I thought you're married, Cole. A poem from Heidenreich. Mike Awesome can kick Heidenreich's ass, right, Mike? Yeah, that guy writes stupid poems. I know. Not so great as your poems, Mike. I've seen your poems. Your poems are pretty good. Oh, thank you. Do you have one for us now? Nah, I'm busy. I'll show you one later. Okay, Mike. You gonna say goodbye? Bye! Okay. Mike Awesome writes great poems, ladies and gentlemen. Almost as better than me. And I write good poems, too. But I digress. Alright, so we got that. And then Akira Tozawa's in Adam Pearce's office. He begs and pleads to get a match with Rusev smashed on a pussy! Yeah! So he gets that next week, so wear black next week for Akira Tozawa's funeral. And then Chad Gable comes in, promises destruction. And Tozawa, along with Maxine Dupri, they all leave. With them gone, Gable wants a Money in the Bank qualifying match for himself and Ivy Nile. So I guess Pierce gives it to them. And then the New Day, obviously, if you would, and Kofi Kingston! They come in and Pierce like, knock next time! Knock! Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you play with your dolls again. Good! She gives great helmets. Okay. Sorry, Spaceballs references. Anyway, so they come in, they're not thrilled with the Creed brothers getting a title shot in a triple threat match for the tag team titles next week with War Machine. So Adam Pearce says, get out! So they leave with Xavier saying, this smells like a midlife crisis in here. Okay then. Let me put on NXT because we're about 4 minutes away. So get that. Alright, so that was pretty good. Alright, then we go to Sheamus. Fella! It's fight night! Baby! As the great Pat McAfee would say. He takes on I Did It, Grayson Waller, with Austin Theory at ringside. And I'm like, when is this thing with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller gonna end? So they finally break up, and Austin Theory has a big mega face push or whatever. I guess we're gonna keep waiting. Match was alright. Grayson tries for the 10 clubbing blows, blah, blah, blah. And then Sheamus, he's doing it, and Sheamus is like, really, bro? So then Sheamus blocks a couple of them, and he hits white, like a botched white noise on the apron. Ow! And then, Grayson tries to leave the arena, leave the ringside area. Theory's like, no, you're gonna get your ass kicked like I did last week. So Sheamus hits the 10 forearms, then hits the brogue kick. 1, 2, 3, Sheamus gets the win. So he's 2-0 in his comeback. Yay, Sheamus. Alright, we got that. Then we move on. Alright, and then Pat McAfee and Michael Cole talk about, they actually make a bet on the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. If the Pacers win, Cole will call Raw in a tank top. Oh, nobody wants to see that. But if the Knicks win, Pat McAfee has to call Raw in a suit. Where have we seen Pat McAfee in a suit? What is this stupid bet? So anyway, they talk to Tyrese Halliburton and mentions he's in WWE 2K25. So it's a big rivalry with the Knicks, and Tyrese is all ready to go. Cole hypes up the Knicks. He's like, yeah, Knicks are gonna win in 5. And, oh no, he said like Knicks in 5 or something like that. And Pat McAfee was like, you biased piece of shit! And then Tyrese picks Jey Uso to beat Logan Paul on Saturday Night's main event. Hey, Michael Cole likes the Mets too, so, as much as I like the guy, pick the Knicks? Bro. Fuck the Knicks. I mean, if they win the NBA title, good for them, but nobody will care that much except for all the douchebag New Yorkers. Yeah, they beat my Celtics. What are we gonna do? You beat them with you. Basically, the Celtics beat themselves, basically. The Knicks really should have lost in 5 games. In 5, they should have lost. The first 2 games, the Celtics beat themselves. Game 3, they came out smoking hot. And then Game 4, they just stunk. And then Game 5, they just got blown out. Which is sad. And then Jason Tatum got beat, got injured. He's out for 2 years. So, even if the Celtics won at the Boston Garden in Game 4, it wouldn't have mattered. If the Celtics would have came back, they made it 3-2, so they won 6. Knicks won 6, I'm sorry, I thought they won 5, but anyway. Alright, NXT's about to start. So, I'll do a little live look in. Alright, so we started with Miles, I'll call him Ozzy Osbourne, along with the rest of Catchpoint 3.0, Tavion Heights, Mr. Rico's son Charlie Dempsey, and my girl Maddie Winkowski. They're entering the building. Him and Femi have a final face-off tonight, because for their world title match at Battleground. And I mentioned before, Trick Willie and Joe Hendry will have a sing-along with all the fans. Now we got a black Ford coming into the Capitol Wrestling Center. Who's coming out? Who's this guy? Maybe the chauffeur. Who's this guy? Ricky Starks! The North American Champion is here! And he's entering the building! So we're going to have a little chitty chat with the great man that he is, Absolute Ricky Starks. Hit his music, you fuckers. Alright, we got that. Alright, let me finish this up because I want to hear what Ricky has to say. Alright, so then we get a Saturday Night's main event rundown, and then Walter gets interrupted by Seth Rollins, who says, hey, it's been a while. He thanks Walter for doing things with his belt, but Walter says the reality is, you're not the long-term game around here. And then Seth freaking Rollins says, well, if you get in the way, I'll make you a target. And then Walter says, I'm actually waiting for that, so go ahead and try. Is he doing commentary? Oh yeah, now we're seeing what Ethan Page did at the end of NXT last week, attacking him in the back, fucking him up. So Ricky's gonna be on commentary with Corey Slave, Vic Joseph, and Booker T. Saga! Oh yeah, man! Oh yeah! Booker T needs to calm down. Gets too wild. What are you talking about Oak Tree for? Alright, so we got Bouncy Javon Evans coming out for our first match of the night. Who's he taking on? He's taking on Ethan Page? I don't know. Bouncy, 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 that's what teachers do best. Alright, Javon Evans is coming out soon. By the way, congratulations to Tyra May Steele and Jasper Troy for winning LOG, and also the GOAT of all GOATs of the modern era, The Undertaker, won the LFG belt, and he gets to defend that, not really defend the belt per se, but Season 2 is coming back. It's going to start June the 22nd. So, we got a little, couple weeks off, and then, LFG Season 2 will begin, and they got 6 more seasons, so this is going to end in Season 7. So we're going to get a lot of new stars being shown on TV, and some of the old people that were on last season will be on this season, but a few newbies will be there. Speaking of newbies, Sean Legacy is here from Evolve, and he had a very good showing in that Battle Royal last week. So this match is going to be epic. If you haven't seen Sean Legacy on Evolve or in the indie circuit, you are missing out! This guy is so good. He is good. Oh, that's right. It's a triple threat match to see. I think it's a triple threat match to see who faces Ricky. I don't know. So Ashanti the Adonis, the resident pimp, the last actual member of Shit Row, is still in WWE, next to B-Fab, of course. So he's coming out now because he's got nobody now. Colin Petrovic is gone. Bye-bye. Who's this chick? Don't kiss him. Ah! Some random fan or some indie girl from the Performance Center. Why would you kiss that guy? Who knows where his mouth's been lately? Besides Carmen Petrovic's pussy. But, dude. Kind of stealing my gimmick a little bit, dude. My old gimmick. One of my old gimmicks. The Hollywood bad boy. Bastard! If I ever meet the guy, I'm gonna say, hey, stop stealing my gimmick! No, I'm not gonna say that. He's wrestling with his shades on. What are you, wrestling otaku? I'm kidding, of course. Big ups to Wrestling Otaku gave me a shout out on his shout out video. I was surprised about that. We don't see eye to eye a lot lately, but we still have a civil agreement that I rarely go on his videos and comment here and there. He doesn't comment much on mine, but that's fine, dandy. But at least we have a common interests are just wrestling, of course, and, you know, we had our differences before, and now we kind of squashed all that shit, and we just said, you know, let's just let bygones be bygones, you do your shit, I do my shit. So, big ups to the wrestling otaku. People call him Otaco, you know. Taco Bell? No. Taco Bell has chicken nuggets now? I feel like going to Taco Bell. Not that I'm going to eat it now, but, you know, maybe this weekend. Talked about it with the missus later. We got that. Alright, so Seth basically Walter says, hey Seth, you want to, you know, fuck around and find out? We'll see what happens with that. Alright, then we go to our second Money in the Bank qualifying match. Mommy Rhea Ripley, my brutality! She takes on Zoe Stark and the kind of spoiled return of my second amazingly hot Asian wife, the Pirate Princess. Glad that she brought that gimmick back. Kairi Sane. Oh, by the way, big news, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy to announce this. Kairi Sane follows me on Twitter now. Because I left a comment on her Twitter page. She put up a picture of, you know, of herself, and I commented, welcome back. Not knowing that, you know, many wrestlers, you know, besides Abaddon and Rosemary, of course, you know, comment back on me, you know, whatever, or like my tweets or anything like that. But 15 minutes after I commented to Kairi about her picture, no shit, this is her actual account. I get a notification that Kairi Sane liked my comment. So I had to check it, make sure it was legit. She has the blue check mark, and she has like 400,000 fucking followers, so it's not a fan page. So it's the real Kairi Sane. So I went berserk, like, Kairi! And then me and Kairi had amazing sex that night. Okay, I digress. I'm kidding. Or am I? But yeah, Kairi Sane follows me on Twitter now. Not that she already did, but, you know. But, made my night. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so, this match had to be altered because Zoe Stark, oh my god. The injury to Zoe Stark, she jumps with a missile drop kick and blew her knee out. Her knee was like, eh! I was like, ah! I was having visions of Sid Vicious, or Sid Justice, whatever, you know, Psycho Sid, when he broke his leg against Scott Steiner, the way he, you know, remember how he broke his leg like that? And his leg was like, like, ah! And this is the same leg and knee that Zoe already was out months for. So she's going to be out a very long time, but it's sad. I thought, you know, she was going to take the pin probably anyway, so they had to not redo, but like kind of audible the finish. So, Mommy Rhea Ripley hits Riptide on Kairi. Kairi comes back and loses. So, I think Mommy Rhea Ripley would have won anyway, but I think she was supposed to pin Zoe Stark. Maybe, I don't know, but Mommy Rhea Ripley goes to Money in the Bank. She has a good shot to win, but we'll see what happens with that. So, but thoughts and prayers go out to Zoe Stark. I know she's going to be out at least a year plus. At least a year. And who knows if WWE, who loves to get rid of people when they're injured, right? Right, Corey Jade? Right, what's her name? The Rainbow Bright girl. We know who she is. I forgot her actual name, but we all know her as Rainbow Bright. Becky? What?
What, you idiot?
Becky, I say Rainbow!
Shut up, you idiot, Milwaukee.
Sorry. Alright, so Mommy Rhea Ripley, goes on to Money in the Bank. Sad to hear about Zoe. Just a freak injury. And you think wrestling is fake. Alright, we got that. Alright, Rusev is all ready to destroy Akira Tozawa next week. And he says he will forgive Tozawa's stupidity and forget his existence. Pretty much. Alright, we got that. Alright, then we go to my favorite segment of the night. Finn Balor, he's there with the rest of the Judgment Day. We see Raquel Rodriguez, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. Liv is supposed to come back pretty soon, because she just finished off in Japan. I think she's coming back next week or after Money in the Bank. I don't know. But anyway. So Finn introduces Roxy as a potential new member of the Judgment Day. And Dom's like, oh, no, we discussed this! So then Roxy says, oh, I'm Roxy, I bring gifts! So she gives a little box to Dom. Dom opens it up, and it's chicken tendies! I was like, oh, man. And then she gives an apple to Carlito. And then Raquel Rodriguez takes the apple and throws it out. That's mean. And it says Liv Morgan will not like this. I bet. So then Finn Balor tries to appeal to Dominic's, chicken tender things as revenge on him. So, this match is epic, by the way. Lots of flippy-dippity doos. Damn. Shawn Legacy with a springboard dropkick. Knocking down Ashanti. Ooh. It was a great match. I know Shawn Legacy might not win this match, but imagine if he does. We got Josh Briggs and Shawn Spears later on tonight. Kaylani Jordan and Delta. Oh! Ho ho ho! Standing Spanish fly by Shawn Legacy. Ashanti had to break up the pin. And then Shawn Legacy throws Ashanti out. Here he goes! Flippy-dippity-doo! Woo! This guy is great. He has a Tyler Bate look, almost. It was way better. Now what's he gonna do? Oh, Javon, Mr. Bouncy! Now we're gonna get a Super Spanish Fly? Nope. Oh! I thought he was gonna hit a Super Spanish Fly, but he hit a Super Hurricane Rana off the ropes. Cyclone kick! Ashanti throws Javon out. Goes to steal the pin, and Javon comes right back in to stop the pin. This match is great. Love it. Yeah, I think he was actually looking to go for the Super Spanish Fly, made famous by the great, my mentor, Joel Maximo. Ahoo! We got that. Alright, so that was cool that Dom got chicken tendies from Roxanne Perez. That was funny as fuck. So, the way to a man's heart, ladies, is with good gifts, as my short would say. Thank you for that. Thank you for the views on that. Let me move on. Alright, then we get a rundown of what's coming up on the Memorial Day edition of Monday Night Raw. And then we go to your main event, non-title match, Paul Heyman at ringside. Braun Breaker taking on the Yeet Man, Jey Uso, coming out and eating with the kids. You gotta love that. Alright, Breaker hits a bulldog off the apron onto the announcer's table, which was sick. As always, the table did not break. I am the table! We got that. We get in the end, a quick super kick gives Jay in their fall. Braun then gets all mad, brings in a chair. Jay super kicks him down, gets rid of the chair, but then Paul Heyman grabs Jay's leg as he's trying for a flippy-dippity-doo. And then Seth freaking Rollins jumps him from behind. Disqualification in just under 15 minutes. So Jay wins the match by DQ. And then 2-1 beatdown. So Sami Zayn and CM Punk come in for the save. The fans are singing Cult of Personality as the brawl's going on. What is this, New Jack? You summon, motherfucker? No, I'm sorry, Jerome. I was just saying how the fans like to sing your theme song, Natural Born Killers. Remember that shit? Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. Everybody loves that song, motherfucker. I know. Now go back to snorting cocaine, motherfucker. Alright, we move on. Bouncy! This match is going crazy. As Jay Briscoe would say, Buck wild on that bitch, what? Buck wild! Crazy as shit. Javon with a big time Eddie Galero S.A. frog splash. And Sean Legacy had to break up the pin. Oh, this is going berserk. And Ricky Starks is loving it. Oh, come on. Ethan Page comes out from the stands, and him and Ricky are beating the fuck out of each other. While all this shit's going on, all the fake as fuck security guards come out. Here's Bouncy again. Oh my god! Bouncy with a flippy dippity doo. Takes everybody down. Ashanti's up top. Kisses. Well, he goes to that fake that chick. Sean Legacy misses a moonsault, or misses a move. Sean Legacy with the. Oh my god! I don't know, his finisher. 1, 2, oh, wow. Sean Legacy won the match. Wow. Love it. What a big upset win for Sean Legacy of Evolve. And while that's going on, he's all celebrating, and Ethan Page and Ricky are still fighting on the outside of the ring. Somebody got a cage. Shit. Let me get that. Oh, that was great. Match was great. Now we have Ava, Robbie E, the TNA, whatever he is. And speaking of Evolve, Stevie Turner, the Evolve GM, she's loving what she saw from her guy, Sean Legacy. And now Tyra May Steele and Jasper Troy, who have now earned NXT contracts, they come in. And Ava welcomes them and congratulates them on winning Season 1 of LFG. Well, now she gets the contracts that were signed already. Like months ago. Well, not months, about a month or so ago at MSG. And then basically, Jasper says, I'm going to make an impact on NXT. Alright, coming up a little bit, we got the rap performance by Trick Willie! And that's actually next. So I gotta get this done. I want to see this shit. Alright. So getting back to Raw, Sammy and CM Punk come out for a big brawl with Seth and Braun Breaker. Fight heads into the crowd. Punk dives in with a double axe handle. They go all the way, out the crowd and everything. And then Logan Paul knocks Jey Uso out again to end the show. But this time we're actually seeing it on TV. So we get that. Anyway, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, that is my Raw thoughts / review, whatever you want to call it. I gave Raw 7 out of 10 stars. I gave it a standard 7. So, we'll see what happens next week on the Memorial Day edition of Raw, and then we'll also see what happens on SmackDown this Friday night, with more Money in the Bank qualifiers, and some more good shit. And that's it. Alright guys, I am out of here. I'm going to go watch the rest of NXT. I'm going to do my review, hopefully later tonight, over on my 800 sub Peter Joseph channel. So, continue to sub to that channel, continue to sub to this channel. Hopefully we'll be on the road to 1,300 subscribers on this channel. But we'll see what happens with that. But thank you all for getting my Peter Joseph channel to 800. Now we begin the road to 900, and then eventually 1,000. Hopefully by the end of the year, but I don't know about that. Maybe into early next year we'll probably get to 1,000. We'll see. We'll see how everything goes. But thank you all for getting my Peter Joseph channel to 800. So continue to subscribe to my channels. Tell your friends. Tell everybody you know about my channels. Blah, 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 blah. And we move on. So thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time. If you're not down with my channels and all that shit, well, fuck you, man. Try to do it yourself, fuckers. You can't. Because the prophecy is the strongest force on YouTube and in real life. Because nobody can stop us. Not even your mom. So fuck you, bitches. That's all I gotta say about that. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace, motherfuckers.